Hello and welcome back to our HIP New World Order campaign. In our last episode we won our Holy War down here, though unfortunately didn't get the top holding in this county, so we're going to have to take care of that in a future war. We'll slow down our expansion down here a bit. We're going to have to basically waste a Holy War cooldown on it, but so be it. If we have to do it, we have to do it. We also had a war declared on us by the Sultan of Africa and Syria here. Which is the second war he's actually declared on us, with much lower numbers on his side for this county of Montferrand, so apparently he really wants it. But again, we're not going to let him have it. And we're being called to arms by Serbia again. Against Croatia. Well, we'll accept this too. So again, we shouldn't have to do much to actually help them. I imagine Serbia has them pretty well outnumbered. Not actually as well as I would have expected. Croatia has a decent sized army even, but I think they're going to be just fine. But we also have this peasant revolt to deal with up here as well, so let's see if we can actually catch them this time. My brother asked me for a fief of his own to govern. We'll mention him a church career. To him, a church career, I guess. During a visit to Geldern, Duke Widukind of Limburg and his entourage were accosted by brigands who made off with several valuables. Efforts to catch the thieves have failed, and the Duke is now demanding compensation from the Grand Mayor of Geldern. The matter has been brought for arbitration at your court. Well, I think what we'll probably do is personally compensate the Duke and get 25 opinion with both of them. They are probably both relatively happy with me at the moment. Where's the Grand Mayor? He's up here somewhere. Anyway, we'll pay 50 gold for the opinion. Ruling from your court has increased your sense of justice. Your judgments have a profound effect on the lives of your subjects, and you have decided to be more fair. So we gained the trait just, which is pretty good. We were not arbitrary before, so we aren't going to lose that or anything, but just is still good. Oh, and our understanding of all matters pertaining to rulership and administration has increased. So we are going to be Midas touched, which is great. That was kind of a disappointment when we only became a fortune builder when our education finished, but we got the opportunity to fix it, which is great. We're up to 27 stewardship, which is not bad at all. Though I had thought Prince Siegfried to be a more reasonable man, his request to be allowed to duel his rival was slightly erratic. He claimed to be constantly subject to affronts from his rival and asked for permission to defend his honor. Yeah, absolutely. Well, he didn't get injured or anything. Neither did his rival. So that's fine. And our vassal got here before we did. But apparently it still counts towards our advancement of our ambition. This war, this opportunity to prove my mettle in combat, has opened my eyes to my true potential as a warrior. My personal combat skills are improving. So that doesn't do anything just yet, but soon, hopefully. So we'll continue to follow this army to Ghent. Let's check out what's going on down here. And nobody is actually really sieging us here, that's fine. Our sieges are actually completed over here, so we can move along to the next county, though I imagine we might win the war before we can finish any more sieges there. Several tavern owners in Nassau have come forward to your court with complaints against the Duke of Friesland. Apparently he has gone on drunken rampages in all of their establishments, and they are demanding compensation. The Duke claims to have no memory of the nights in question. We'll make him compensate the tavern owners, which means he would dislike us. Let's see, if we lost the plus 50 from defending versus foreigners, I think he'd still be reasonably happy. Or we can say drinking and debauchery are what your taverns are for, are they not? Lose 30 prestige, lower city tax in Nassau. and the Duke likes me better, or we can pay ourselves. in which case the Duke will get plus 25 opinion. Let's make the Duke pay. I think we'll be just fine anyway. We have a niece who needs educating. Well, she won't give us opinion and is probably not going to inherit, so we'll just get her educated with a random courtier. Recent events have increased your grasp of stewardship, so we become an amateur steward, giving us plus 1 stewardship, okay. Up to 28. And obviously we could white peace this war at any point. At least I'm assuming we could. But yeah, we get 604 gold from pushing it to 100, so I think that's worth doing. It shouldn't take us too long to do anyway. And we apparently did not catch the peasants over here, but my vassal did, so I appreciate that. And that takes care of their revolt. So we'll enforce our demands and execute the prisoner. Actually, speaking of prisoners, let's try to ransom the ones we can. Oh, and we have another new king of Flanders. King Francois, who is only 3 years old, so he isn't going to cause us any trouble, and to make sure that he doesn't cause us any trouble in the future, we'll... Oh, actually, he's too young for an education, but we will try to remember to educate him ourselves once he's of the appropriate age. And we can invest in culture tech. So we could go for feudal vassal opinion or lower short reign years. I don't think there's much point in increasing our legalism. I don't really want to enact duchy viceroyalties. Let's go for noble customs. We may as well do improved keeps in economy tech as well. There's another level of castle fortifications. And why don't we increase military organization while we're at it as well? Not that we're at our retinue cap, but we're at 100% in this war, so we'll enforce our demands, get our free gold, and disband our troops. You improve the opinion of the Duke of Burgundy, so he's up to 71. That is pretty good. And this is retinue, I'm assuming. What about these ones? Alright, over here. You can just march back and we'll disband you when you get there. So let's check on the Serbia-Croatia war. Serbia seems to be doing just fine. Up to 70%, and they seem to have wiped out most or all of Croatia's army. So we are not going to have to help them, it looks like. Which is fine by me. And our castle town is finished. Let's see, we can probably build some other cheaper upgrades here. We're going to need the castle walls to continue upgrading the town, so we'll build those. And can we grant independence to Antioch right now, or do we have to be at peace? We can do it, so we will. We apparently lost our treasurer. Was that the queen? I don't know. We'll appoint this guy anyway. We could appoint a duke for some extra opinion with him. He is almost as good. I think we'll just appoint the best person for the job. I think the duke's opinion is just fine. Send him to collect taxes. Our armies are going to take a while to get back home here. And speaking of crown laws, is there anything we want to change now that we can? I don't think so. We could go up to max centralization, but we don't need the domain limit, and we do need the vassal limit. Keep has been built. Aztecs lost another war, so they're having a pretty bad time. Yeah, I think we're okay for crown laws for the moment. I've heard that many of the peasants under my rule are not eager to partake in this war. They claim that they suffer a lot for what seems to be pointless fighting. We'll be sympathetic towards the plight of the peasants. Gain some piety. But I think we may as well change our rulership focus once we're able to, which is going to be pretty soon here. We got plenty of benefits out of it. We became just and got Midas touched, so no complaints. And we get the extra +1 stewardship from Amateur Steward. And we're no longer in our own territory with our retinue here, so we'll bring it down here. So Queen Euphrosyne the Rash of Antioch. Kind of an unfortunate nickname there. Oh, and her son died in suspicious circumstances. Which leaves only one child of hers remaining to be her heir. I'm sure she'll be fine. Recently, I've taken my ward with me when I traveled around the country, visiting different villages, castles, and cities. I constantly explain to my ward how people trade, what sort of crops we grow on the land, and so on. So he's going to gain some amount of stewardship. 2 stewardship, very good. And one of the fringe benefits of us becoming Midas Touch is we no longer have to remember to give him to a different educator once he is of age, since we're capable of giving him the best quality of education ourselves. A peasant accused of murder is dragged before your court. His wife and children were found butchered in the small hut they called home, and he was standing nearby, covered in blood. Despite this damning evidence, the man continues to profess his innocence. What should be done with him? We can hang him, toss him in the dungeons, or let him go because the evidence is circumstantial. Now let's toss him in the dungeons. We don't want to do anything irreversible, just in case. And maybe we need to keep our focus if we want to see any resolution from that event. Or maybe this is the effect of that event. We get Steward, giving us +2 stewardship instead of our previous +1. We'll just wait a couple of months in case something else happens. People are usurping things, that's fine. I was inspecting the damage to the highest tower in Thuringen when the head of Dietmar appeared outside the window 50 meters above ground. What should I do with this curious child? So, we can take a small chance he becomes maimed. And he doesn't like me for 5 years. But he could also become honest or brave. Teach him a lesson, in which case he'll either be maimed or die, or strictly forbid him to climb the tower and become deceitful or craven. This would be the safer option. Deceitful is not bad, it reduces diplomacy a bit. Usually I take this one despite the small chance of him becoming maimed. Let's take the chance. Curiosity has never killed anyone. He became honest. Okay. Brave would have been better, but that's just fine too. And we lost a siege here to rebels. Okay, we had a lower holding in there. That's fine, I guess. I don't think we care about that. And I don't know whether Serbia are actually going to win their war anytime soon, because they are not actually sieging things here, it seems. Maybe we should send an army down. Take care of business. We can raise one pretty close by, so I think we may as well. Antioch still not involved in any wars. Dietmar is mastering the art of swordsmanship. Yeah, speaking of mastering the art of swordsmanship, we are still trying to achieve that opinion, or that, not opinion, but ambition. So maybe if we can fight a tiny battle against this little Croatian army, that could help us out. Apparently it didn't, that's okay. We have a new pope. Not a wicked priest this time. And we don't have enough troops here to assault this, unfortunately. But it looks like the siege is going pretty quickly anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and change our focus. And I think to fit in with our ambition of becoming a skilled fighter, we'll take the war focus for a while. Not that I think it'll necessarily help, but more for role-playing reasons, I guess. Maybe we'll actually pick up a rival that we can duel. And Serbia did manage to get something sieged here, even though they're dancing around with their army. Oh, and our kinswoman, Queen Adelaide the Hammer of Jerusalem, has died in natural death at the age of 54. Fairly young, she didn't seem to have any negative health traits. But we now have King Wilhelm of Jerusalem in charge. He's a pretty good character as well. Not amazing, but he'll do, I suppose. And his heir is a genius, so that's good news for him. Or at least for the kingdom. Aztecs changing crown laws, okay. And we should take this siege any second now. Release the prisoners and... oh yeah, we'll have them all in irons, including the leader, which should end this war immediately. You're welcome, Serbia. We'll be going now. And no sooner do we get out of one war than we are called into another by our Aunt Lena, the Confessor from Al-Andalus. She is calling us to arms against the Aztecs. Andalusian Holy War for Extremadura, which I believe is this duchy in here. So yeah, we'll help, I suppose. I can't imagine they actually need our help, since the Aztecs are in a pretty sorry state these days. so we'll keep an eye on it, but not actually do anything. Yep, Serbia has won their war. And we can disband our troops as soon as they get within our borders. Alright. Looks like Aquitaine is in this war as well. And Aragon, so our help is definitely not required. Alright. Well, they're going to end up with nicer borders, so that's a good thing. Also, our dynasty is going to gain more land for themselves. If we look at our dynasty map mode, we can see that we have quite a bit of dominions around here and here, as well, of course, as our main holdings, so that's pretty good. And we have a pretty large golden horde here, which is something I didn't previously notice. Okay, our Tengri. Okay. 40,000 troops. Well, we'll keep an eye on them too, since they are right up against our borders. But we are out of time for this episode, so we'll leave it here for now. Thanks for watching, and join me again next time.